Hi, I'm Lace, and this is Around the Dining Table. And as you can tell by all the aromatics and everything laid out here, we're going to be taking a trip to Thailand today, a virtual trip since we all can't travel now. And I'm going to be sharing this recipe from my second book, Around the Dining Table. There's tons of Asian-inspired recipes for the home cook here. And this deep-fried Laab meatballs, I was actually in Bangkok one night for supper, and we went into this northeastern eatery, and one of the dishes they had there was deep fried Laab meatballs. Yeah, and we're normally used to eating Laab in a salad form, not the deep fried form, so I got really intrigued by it, and I really enjoyed this tender morsels of meatballs. There's a really nice crunchy crust, and there's little nubbly bits of toasted rice powder in it, tons of texture, and it's hot and it's sour. Really tasty, and yeah, and it's really quick to put together as well. We're going to need some minced pork. I have here some pork belly. You want to use something with a good amount of fat for your meatballs. Though honestly, we're adding lime juice to it and all this shallots and everything. It will tenderize the meat anyway. Start with making our spice paste mixture thing to flavor the meatballs. And we're going to start off with some shallots and galangal. This is just about 5 shallots. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can also finely mince it with your knife, or you can even use a food processor. And I have here some lemongrass, as well as some kaffir lime leaves. So we're going to pulverize everything into a paste, and we're going to add that into our meat mixture. The top parts, you can discard it or use it for stalks or for tea, lemongrass tea. The flavor is mostly concentrated in the purple parts of the lemongrass. You can smell it. So we're going to be adding this into our shallot mixture. Now that the mixture is pounded up, we're going to be adding it into our pork belly. So in goes our toasted rice powder. For that lovely textural contrast in the meatball, I'm going to be adding in some rice powder. And to make it, I'm simply just toasting up some white glutinous rice in a dry saucepan. And once it turns golden brown, just remove it and kind of pulverize or grind it up into a rough powder. You can use a mortar and pestle for this, or even a coffee grinder. A touch of sugar. Some Thai chili flakes. Finally, some fish sauce and some lime juice. I'm going to check the recipe. 2 tablespoons fish sauce. So now we're adding our fish sauce as well as our lime juice into the meat mixture. And now we transform everything into our meatball mix. You want to just get your hands in there and kind of press and knead everything about until it becomes this really homogeneous, sticky mass that's lightened in color, kind of like this. So now that all the deep frying has been done, I'm going to be going in for a little taste test now. And this has simply been plated up with some raw fresh vegetables as well as some lime wedges. Really crunchy and crispy and really juicy inside. And you get a really nice little nubbly crunch from the toasted rice powder. You get that aromatic hit from the lemongrass and the lime leaves. It's a really nice citrusy flavor to cut through the meat. And the lime juice as well as the shallots, they really tenderize the meat inside. So you end up with a really juicy meatball. It's really interesting, not your usual meatball, and I do hope you give this recipe a try. If you're looking for more recipes like this, do check out Around the Dining Table, my second book. I've linked below where you can find this on my website, at major bookstores, or on Book Depository and Amazon. So one thing about this book is that it's made with the home cook in mind. So as home cooks, one of the dilemmas we face is that of having to deal with leftovers. And let's say for today's meal, we've made use of lemongrass, lime leaves, galangal, and I've linked in each recipe in the book links up to different recipes, so you have ideas how to repurpose the leftovers, and the recipes would be using similar ingredients that we made use of. Here's a visual of what I'm talking about. Every single recipe comes with this Continuing the Feast blue box. So for example, the ingredients here can also be used to make a tom yum noodle soup, or a seared fish with a clear tom yum soup, or the tom yum spaghetti. So yeah, nothing goes to waste, and you have more ideas how to make your dinners more interesting. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, do give this a quick like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for our next cooking session. Bye for now!